All right, so today we're taking a deep dive into Phuket real estate,
Yeah.
specifically the Bang Tao, Chen Tole, and Surin areas.
Right.
And I know those are areas that you're particularly interested in.
I am, very much so.
Our main source is this guide to rental law for foreigners in Phuket.
Oh, very important.
It seems like a really helpful resource.
Yeah.
So I think our mission here is to help you understand the legal side of things,
Yeah.
the potential of these specific areas,
hmm
and how to make smart decisions.
Well, that sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
That's a great place to start with a deep dive, I think.
Yeah, and it seems like Phuket really encourages foreign investment, but also has these rules to
Yeah.
ensure that Thai ownership stays strong.
That's right.
So it's like a balancing act.
Yeah, it is. And it's a very interesting dynamic that's been going on for quite a while.
Yeah, and I've always wondered about that. Like, why is there so much emphasis on keeping that Thai ownership in place?
Well, if you look back historically, Thailand has always been very cautious about foreign influence over its land. There's this desire to protect their heritage and prevent outside forces from having too much control.
So the 49% condo ownership cap for foreigners is a prime example of that.
Yes, it is.
This guide mentions that foreigners can own condo units, but only up to 49% of any given building,
Yeah,
which seems like a pretty significant limitation.
it is. And it's directly tied to that historical context that I was just mentioning. You'll see this pattern in a lot of countries
Oh, yeah.
that have been colonized or felt pressure to give up their land in the past. They're very intentional about maintaining control over their resources.
So it's not just about economics, it's about cultural preservation as well.
Right.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, and it's an important aspect to understand.
Now, what about land or houses?
Yes.
Guide mentioned something about leasehold.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
while direct land ownership is off the table for foreigners,
Oh.
you can secure a long-term lease.
Okay.
We're talking 30 years renewable for another 30.
Wow.
It's a pretty common system in this part of the world.
So essentially, it's like having long-term rights to the property
Yeah,
without actually owning the land itself.
exactly. It gives you security to build or develop or even just live on the land for a substantial period of time.
Okay.
And if you plan things right, that lease can be passed down to heirs.
That's helpful to know.
Yeah.
But what happens when you want to rent out your Phuket property?
Well, that's where the rental regulations come into play.
Okay.
The guide mentions this 30-day notification rule, which basically means you need to register your tenants with the local authorities within 30 days of them moving in.
So it's not just about finding a tenant and signing a contract.
Yeah, no.
There's an actual legal process
Yeah.
that needs to be followed.
Imagine it like this, you're letting the authorities know, hey, I have someone living in this property now. It helps them keep track of who's living where, ensures everything is above board.
And this is where it gets even more interesting for you.
Yes.
The guide really emphasizes having a Thai language rental contract.
Yes, it's crucial.
Now, I can see why that might be important, but why not just have a bilingual contract?
Well,
Wouldn't that be easier for everyone?
it might seem easier.
Right.
But legally speaking, the Thai version is the one that holds the most weight. I once knew someone who thought having an English contract was enough.
Oh.
When a dispute arose with their tenant,
Oh, no.
it turned into a legal nightmare.
Wow. So a properly translated and legally sound Thai contract
It's essential.
is essential. That's definitely a takeaway I'll remember.
Absolutely. It might seem like a small detail, but it can make a huge difference down the line.
Okay, noted.
Getting legal advice early on is a smart move.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, now I'm always curious about the financial side of things.
Yes.
Taxes and fees.
Uh-huh.
This guide talks about personal income tax on rental income,
Right.
but I'm a little confused about the rates.
Okay.
It says they range from 5% to 35%.
It's a progressive system,
Huh.
which basically means the more rental income you earn,
Right.
the higher the tax rate you'll pay.
Okay.
But even at the highest level, 35%, it's still relatively low compared to some other popular real estate investment destinations.
So it's all relative.
Yes, exactly.
I know some countries have much steeper tax rates
Yes, they do.
on rental income.
Mm.
So that definitely makes Phuket more appealing from a
Right.
tax perspective.
Yeah.
What are other costs?
Well, there's also an annual property tax,
Okay.
which is surprisingly affordable compared to many other places.
Mm.
But you also want to factor in things like property management fees,
Right.
maintenance costs,
Yeah.
and potentially even homeowners association fees, depending on the type of property.
So it's important to look at the whole picture
Absolutely.
when calculating potential rental income.
You want to make sure your investment is profitable,
Right.
and that means accounting for all the costs involved.
Okay, so now that we've covered the legal and financial groundwork, I'm eager to hear more about those specific areas.
Yeah.
Bangtao, Tringtale, and Surin.
Let's delve into that.
What makes them so unique and potentially lucrative?
Each area offers a different vibe and caters to a different type of investor and renter.
Okay.
Starting with Bangtao, from what I've gathered, it's known for its vibrant energy and stunning beach.
I've seen pictures of it. That beach looks incredible.
It is, isn't it?
Turquoise waters, white sand. I can see why people rave about it.
It's a beautiful beach, for sure.
But what else makes Bangtao stand out?
Well, Bangtao has really positioned itself as a luxury destination.
Okay.
We're talking high-end resorts, world-class restaurants, and a buzzing nightlife scene.
So it attracts tourists looking for a complete vacation experience.
Yeah, they want the whole package.
So if someone is looking to invest in a property that caters to that luxury travel market, Bangtao might be a good option.
Exactly, and with its well-developed infrastructure and continued growth projections, it's definitely worth considering from an investment perspective.
Okay, but now let's shift gears
Okay.
and explore Tringtale, which offers a completely different atmosphere.
Yeah, very much so.
The guide described it as having a laid-back, local feel. I'm intrigued by that contrast with Bangtao's energy.
Think of it this way. Bangtao's the glamorous party, while Tringtale is the chill hangout spot.
I like that.
Yeah, it embraces a blend of local charm and upscale amenities, bustling markets, charming boutiques, and a diverse culinary scene.
So it's less about that touristy vibe
Yeah.
and more about experiencing authentic Thai culture.
Yes, and it attracts a mix of tourists and expats looking for a more authentic and relaxed Thai experience.
That sounds really appealing, actually.
It is.
Okay, now I'm really curious about Surin,
Yes.
which the guide calls Millionaire's Row.
Yes. Get ready for some serious luxury.
What's so special about this area?
Surin is where you'll find the most exclusive villas,
Okay.
high-end boutiques, and stunning ocean views. It's all about exclusivity, privacy, and top-notch service.
What kind of investor is drawn to Surin?
Think celebrities seeking a secluded getaway,
Okay.
business moguls looking for a discreet retreat, and anyone who values privacy and personalized service.
So it's a very specific niche market,
Yes, it is.
but one with high rental potential.
Absolutely.
So we have Bangtao, the vibrant luxury hotspot, Tringtale, the charming blend of local and upscale,
Yes.
and Surin, the exclusive millionaire's playground.
Right.
Each area has its own distinct character and target audience, which is fascinating.
It is, isn't it?
But how do we know which one is right for a specific investor?
That's a great question.
What factors should they consider?
That's what we'll delve into next. Let's explore the specific investment potential of each area, taking into account things like infrastructure development, growth projections, and even personal preferences.
All right, I'm ready to dive deeper into the nitty-gritty details and see how each of these areas stacks up from an investment perspective.
Sounds like a plan.
Awesome.
Let's do it.
So we've got these three distinct areas: Bangtao, Tringtale, and Surin, each with its own personality.
Yeah.
I'm ready to get into the investment side of things.
Okay.
What are we looking at when it comes to factors that could really influence property values?
Well, infrastructure is key.
Okay.
It's the foundation for growth in any area, whether it's attracting more tourists, residents, or businesses.
Yeah.
Let's start with Bangtao.
Perfect. I'm picturing that beautiful beach again.
Yeah.
But infrastructure is what makes a place actually livable, right?
Absolutely. And Bangtao has been investing in road improvements and expansions.
Okay.
That makes getting around easier for everyone, which is especially important in a tourist-heavy area.
Makes sense. Nobody wants to be stuck in traffic on their vacation.
Right, exactly.
Has there been any talk about public transportation?
Actually, yes, there have been discussions about expanding public transport.
Okay.
Even a potential light rail system connecting Bangkok to other parts of Phuket.
Wow. A light rail.
Yeah, that would be a game changer.
That would make a huge difference for residents and tourists alike.
Oh, absolutely.
So Bangtao is already well developed, but it sounds like it's still evolving and growing.
Exactly. And that ongoing development is a positive sign for its long-term investment potential. But now let's shift gears to Tringtale.
Okay. Tringtale. That blend of local charm and modern amenities really intrigues me.
Yeah.
What's happening infrastructure-wise there?
Tringtale is going through a major transformation right now.
Okay.
There are new roads being built, existing ones being upgraded, and even a new commercial hub in development.
Oh, wow.
We're talking shopping malls, restaurants, entertainment venues, the works.
That sounds like a massive undertaking.
It is.
What's the driving force behind all this development?
It's all part of a strategy to make Chantale more attractive to a wider range of people.
Yeah.
Tourists, expats, even digital nomads. It's about creating a well-rounded lifestyle destination.
So it's not just about catering to one specific group, but appealing to a diverse mix of people.
Exactly.
That's a smart approach.
It is.
It sounds like Chantale is on the cusp of something big.
I think so. These improvements are designed to elevate the entire area, which is likely to translate to higher
Catching a wave just as it's starting to swell.
Exactly. That's a great analogy.
They're picturing myself strolling through those bustling markets,
Yeah.
then heading to a trendy new restaurant in that commercial hub.
Sounds nice, doesn't it?
Okay, last but not least,
Yes.
Surin the Millionaire's Row.
Yes.
What kind of infrastructure developments are happening in that realm of luxury?
Surin's approach is different.
Okay.
It's about maintaining exclusivity and that high-end appeal, think subtle upgrades rather than large-scale developments.
Interesting. So what kinds of upgrades are we talking about?
Improvements to existing roads and utilities, for sure.
Okay.
Beautification projects to enhance the area's aesthetics are also common.
Mm-hmm.
And there's even been talk of private transportation services exclusively for residents.
Ah, so it's all about preserving that luxurious and exclusive atmosphere.
Exactly.
Catering to the specific needs and desires
Yes.
of that high net worth clientele.
Precisely subtle enhancements carefully curated to align with Surin's overall character.
Okay. I'm starting to see how each area's infrastructure approach reflects its personality and target market. It's like they each have their own development strategy.
Yeah, I like that way of putting it.
But beyond infrastructure, what about those future growth projections?
Right.
How do Bangtao, Chantale, and Surin stack up in terms of potential appreciation?
Let's delve into that. Bangtao, being a well-established tourist destination,
Right.
is predicted to continue benefiting from the overall growth of tourism in Phuket.
That makes sense. It's already a popular spot, so as more tourists flock to Phuket,
Yeah.
Bangtao will naturally see increased demand.
Exactly.
What about Chantale?
Chantale's growth is projected to be even more dynamic
Oh,
with
wow.
those infrastructure projects we talked about, plus its strategic location near the airport and other key attractions.
Right.
It's attracting interest from multiple demographics.
So it's not putting all its eggs in one basket, so to speak.
Right.
Tourists, expats, digital nomads. It's casting a wider net.
Exactly. That diversification means there's a good chance of substantial appreciation in property values over the next few years.
Okay, and finally we have Surin.
Yes, Surin, the land of luxury.
I'm imagining its future growth is tied to a very specific market.
You're absolutely right. Surin's fate is intertwined with the global luxury market. As long as high net worth individuals continue seeking those exclusive private getaways, Surin is likely to remain a highly sought after destination.
It's fascinating how each of these areas has its own unique growth trajectory.
It is.
Bangtao riding the wave of tourism, Chantale diversifying its appeal,
Yeah.
and Surin catering to that niche luxury market.
It's really interesting.
It seems like we've covered a lot of ground here, from legal frameworks and rental regulations to infrastructure development and growth projections.
We have, and this detailed overview should give you a solid foundation for evaluating which area aligns best with your investment goals and personal preferences.
It's amazing how much we've learned just from diving into this one guide.
Yeah, it's a great resource.
But there's one more question that comes to mind.
Okay.
Considering all these factors we've discussed, what are some key things you'd recommend our listener pay attention to when making a decision about where to invest?
That's a great question and a perfect segue into the final part of our deep dive.
Okay.
Let's explore some crucial considerations that can help you navigate this exciting world of Phuket real estate and choose the area that truly resonates with your vision.
Okay, so we've explored the legal side of things.
Yeah.
We've talked about those unique areas, Bangtao, Chantale, Surin.
Right.
We've analyzed their growth potential. I think I'm ready for the actionable advice.
Okay, great.
What should our listener really be focusing on when making that final investment decision?
Well, first and foremost, I think it's crucial to define your target market. Who are you hoping to attract as renters?
Right.
Families on vacation? Couples seeking a romantic escape?
Yeah.
Or maybe those high net worth individuals looking for ultimate luxury?
Because the type of renter you're going for will really kind of dictate Which area makes the most sense?
You want to make sure your property aligns with the desires of your ideal tenant.
It's like matching a personality to a place.
Yeah.
Each area has its own vibe.
Right.
And you need to find that synergy
Exactly.
between the property, the location, and the target renter.
Absolutely.
And speaking of alignment,
Yeah.
it's equally important to consider your investment goals.
Right.
Are you primarily looking for that short-term rental income? Or is it more long-term capital appreciation?
That's a great point because even though all three areas show promising growth potential,
Right.
their trajectories might differ depending on market trends and long-term development plans.
Exactly.
For instance, if steady rental income is your priority, Bangtao, with its established tourism market, might offer more immediate returns.
Okay.
But if you're playing the long game and looking for significant appreciation,
Right.
Turning Tao, with its ongoing transformation and diversified appeal,
Yeah.
could be a more strategic bet.
Because it's about understanding those nuances
Yeah,
of each market and aligning your investment strategy accordingly.
exactly.
Short-term gains versus long-term potential.
Yes,
It's a crucial distinction.
it is. And while financial considerations are super important, I think it's also essential to factor in your personal preferences.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself visiting this property?
Yeah.
Do you want to be close to the action or tucked away in a quieter setting?
The heart wants what it wants.
Exactly.
Even if it's purely for investment,
Yeah.
I think choosing a location that resonates with you personally can add an extra layer of satisfaction to the whole thing.
I couldn't agree more. Imagine yourself spending time in each of these areas. Picture strolling along Bangtao's bustling beach, exploring Shreng Talei's local markets, or enjoying the serenity of Shiren's exclusive haven.
Yeah.
Which scenario sparks the most joy?
That's such a valuable exercise.
Yeah.
It's about connecting with that emotional aspect of the investment.
Right.
Beyond just the numbers, it's about envisioning yourself in that space,
Yeah,
experiencing the lifestyle.
exactly. Because ultimately, the best investment decision
Yeah.
is one that aligns with your goals, your preferences, and your vision.
For your piece of Phuket paradise.
Your little slice of heaven.
This has been such an insightful deep dive. I feel like we've gone from deciphering legal jargon
Yeah, we had.
to picturing ourselves on those beautiful beaches.
It's a journey.
I feel like we've given our listener a really solid roadmap
Yes.
for navigating the world of Phuket real estate.
I think so too. And if I could leave our listener with one final thought, it would be this: trust your instincts, gather all the information, weigh the pros and cons, but ultimately let your gut feeling guide you toward the area that feels right.
Trust your gut. I love that.
Yeah, sometimes it's the best guide.
Yeah, it is. It's about balancing that practical
Yeah.
with the intuitive,
Right.
the head with the heart.
Absolutely.
And I have a feeling that armed with this newfound knowledge, our listener is well on their way to making a really smart and fulfilling investment decision.
I'm confident of that. And who knows, maybe we'll bump into each other on a Phuket beach someday,
I'd love that.
sipping cocktails and celebrating their success.
Cheers to informed decisions,
Cheers.
fulfilling investments,
To Phuket?
and the allure of Phuket paradise.